Greetings and welcome. 22 sessions to $1 million using $1. Being the owner of multiple businesses, I'm always conscious of my money from both the personal and professional perspective. Our lives are very much intertwined and often controlled by our ability to manage, save, and spend our money. I was recently reminded of a great concept that I learned about when I was a teenager. My mother used to give me some money to buy snacks when I was in junior high school. Now, we had then a snack machine, and in the snack machine would be apples and oranges and almost everything you could think about in a central area, and there was lots of these huge snacks machines. They would take dollars and coin. So I had told my mother about it, and she thought it was a great idea. So every day she left me $1 and some change. It would be a random amount of change, but it would always be $1. So I would take my money and I said, "Self, I could just spend the change and keep the dollar." And every day I would add $1, and by the end of the week I would have $5 to do whatever I wanted to do with it. And I could just spend the change on me a snack, at school. So then I did that for a little while, multiplying my money, and then I noticed, "Self, you could just take this money and go to the store and buy you some snacks. Just don't let your mother see that you got these snacks from the store." So when I went to school, the kids saw that I had different snacks than was in the snack machine. So they says, "Hey, how about some of those snacks?" And I says, "Okay, well, I'll sell you one." And I noticed that I would come back home with the same money. Now I had more money. At the end of the week, I could buy more snacks and sell more snacks to my friends and eat more good snacks that I had myself. All of a sudden, I had a business. So, Self, wait, what happens if one day you can't get there and you don't get any money from your mother? Then you can't buy these snacks and accumulate this money. So I said, I gotta stash some of this money away. So I put my stash up, and I had my regular money because I kept turning it over, but I wanted to have some fallback on cash. So then I said to myself again, "Self, what if you took that stash and multiplied it as you went along and just kept track of the money in the stash?" Voila! I started having so much money until one day my mother got suspicious. I guess I must have left my stash somewhere and she found it. And boy, was I in trouble. I had to explain what I was doing, and she laughed at me. But guess what? I no longer got the dollar and change for my snack. She made me buy my own snack out of my money. But I had amassed a cool little stash by then, so I didn't mind buying my own snacks. Because you see, I would just go to the store, sell to my friends, and I would eat my snacks free and make money and accumulate my stash. I bet you can't believe that when I got in high school, I was able to buy me a car, cash. All right then, just letting you know about my teenage years of what I was doing. And I kept selling all the way through high school, except I did candy and gum and everything. But wait, I have to tell you this one quick time when I got busted. I thought, hey, this works good in school. Let me see how I can work it in church. And got in trouble really bad because I would take my offering money and buy snacks and sell it to the other ones for their offering money. Oh, I didn't live that one down. I got in so much trouble by the elders because they told me I was stealing God's money because everybody was buying snacks after Sunday school from me, Before church, we had goodies to sit in the church with, which was so boring. But if you had snacks and candy and gum and sunflower seeds and all the rest of that stuff, you could endure church really good. But the elders did not appreciate me doing that too much. All right, getting back to the presentation. Now, I want you to know that you can take and strategically do things just as I did when I was a teenager. And if a person takes $1 and they invest this dollar in a strategic way, they could amass and accumulate $1 million in what I call 22 sessions. You see, there's a session that you need to understand the concept of multiplication. The only habit that would be needed to create this is the habit of multiplying the amount in hand for 22 sessions. Obviously, the model is very simple and the idea is very basic. So basic, anybody can grasp it. However, I would like to expand on the underlying psychology of this concept. Let's imagine that we were going to make a committed decision to implement this model in our own personal financial lives, and we could not skip any steps or take any shortcuts. By the end of the first 12 sessions, we would have accumulated a degree of stashed cash in the amount of X dollars. This means that in the next 10 sessions, we will have to amass X amounts of dollars or cash more than we currently have to reach the $1 million level. At this point, this imaginary experiment becomes a more daydream, a fairy tale to the average person, but I'm not talking to the average people. But let's think about how our minds work and the power of focus. For the first 12 sessions of the experiment, we were making a habit of accumulating assets. As each session went by, we were forced to become more creative and innovative with our investments as the challenge of increase in each amount or increment grew larger and larger. There are plenty of people in the world who have had success making large sums of money in short periods of time. The average person may not understand how to do it, but they most certainly could learn if they were to focus their mind and their attention on the task and do whatever it takes to learn the required skill. I once heard T. Harv Eker use the extreme example that if there was a life or death situation and your life depended on you making $1 million in quick, fast, lightning time, that you could figure out a way to do it. I completely agree. The point I am trying to make is that I truly believe we are all capable of achieving a goal like this if the stakes are high enough. If you need a new car because yours broke down, you need a place to live, you need a house, there are such emergencies that arise and we need some money. Why then do so few people ever try to achieve such a major goal? Why do so many people reject the idea before giving any serious thought to it? There are probably a number of reasons, but from my perspective, the primary reason a person would never even attempt a goal like this is because in their heart, they don't believe that they can do it. If they did believe that they could achieve the goal, would they not be actively working on it? Of course they would. With that in mind, we can begin to understand the powerful role that beliefs play in our lives. From the standpoint of our minds, a psychologist would say that a belief is nothing more than an idea that we have consciously accepted as true and ingrained as part of our subconscious conditioning. So if we are holding on to beliefs that limit us and keep us from taking action on a life-changing idea, with the proper awareness, we can make the conscious decision to formulate a new belief that supports us in our big life goals. I think it is both healthy and wise for every person to take time out regularly to examine their habits of thought. Since this is centered around the idea of financial goals and money, I would encourage you to step back and review your personal thought processes when you were introduced to the idea of 22 sessions to $1 million. If you reject the idea as something that was unrealistic or out of your level of capability, take some time to examine the belief you are holding that is causing you to reject this idea. What other limiting beliefs have crept into your mind that are no longer serving you? Can you replace those beliefs with a more empowering, and gratifying thought pattern? That would be, do you think you can do it? And if you think you can do it, at least try. Give it a chance and see. I'm sure that you could do it. At least do one session. You'll see one session will turn into 2 sessions. I'm not trying to hard sell you. I'm not trying to change your beliefs. I just want you to know you have beliefs, you have reasoning, and you have thoughts. Are they empowering you? And I'm only here to empower you to create within yourself a means to an end. Now it's called action, reaction. If you react to the action that you're looking at, then you're either going to succeed or you're going to fail. If you act and put action to your reaction, and it's on a positive note, your success is going to keep being success. All right. Like I said, 22 sessions to $1 million using $1. I coined it. It's called Operation Stash Cash. All right. I do teach this class. I do teach you how to reach $1 million. I'm only here because it's called stress attack. When you are up against the clock to make a certain amount of money, you stress. And as long as you stay focused and know that the stress will come, you can combat the stress and keep on your merry way. And at the end, you'll do you a jig, wash, rinse, and repeat. So you'll never, ever have to worry about having money for a certain particular object. Now, you don't always have to go for the $1 million. Let's use, for an example, I need a car. And I said, okay, how much time do I have to get that car? Always give yourself 30 days. Never push yourself beyond the limit on raising money inside of 30 days. You'll stress all the way out. Only raise a little bit of money and be mad at yourself and want to kick yourself all over the place. But I can't have you doing that. Put in your mind what you need. You may not need anything for you, but you may want something for someone else. Most of the time, I say go big or go home. Why not go big? Go big. Now, if you don't have a home to go to, I guess you can't go home, huh? But you could still go big. So, let's try and go big. I'm looking for a certain amount of people to help me in this experiment. I've done this experiment many times, over and over and over again. And I've purchased a lot of real estate, a lot of cars. This time I'm doing this experiment on a different note. This experiment is to create millionaires, new fresh money millionaires. You can be a millionaire on paper with a letter of credit. That's not hard. I've traded stocks in the stock market. Multi-millions of dollars. I was leveraged up really, really high. But this is actual stashed money that you can put over in a kitty bank and look at as it grows. That's the kind of money I want you to understand that I'm making for you. The kind that you're going to go to your account and pull out, look at, and if you want to keep it in your account, put it back in. But if you don't, you could look at it a minute and say, grow, and it'll grow. All right, enough. I'm not trying to convince you, understand. I'm trying to let you know that it's in you, and I'm just looking for the ones that have it in them. If it's not in you, don't worry. I'm not looking for you. But if it is in you, yes, I'm looking for you to join me so that we can make it happen. You know, sometimes you just need a little push, a little pick-me-up, a little tug, a little motivation. Not everything was done. Like they said, Rome wasn't done in a day, and it wasn't built by one person, actually. It was built by several. And therefore, I want you to join me if you have it in you. If you don't have it in you, I guess I won't be seeing you later. But if I see you and you see me or we talk again, then you know you have what it takes to do what it takes to get the job done. All right, 22 sessions to $1 million, known as From 1 to 1 in 1 mil in 22.
Thanks for watching. Click the link below to visit our website.